Right, here we go, folks. All roads lead to Cheltenham. Obviously, none of us will be there this year, boys, unfortunately, but we've still got the previews every day. We're going to do a little bit different this year, lads. We're going to just run through the races, talk about still similar in respect to talk about the main ones, but we're just going to be a little bit more general, and we'll give you a little shout along the way who we like in each race. So then, lads, without further ado, let's get cracking then. Only really one place to start. And then the first race, the Supreme Novice Hurdle. Last year's winner, Shishkin won it last year, but still an awesome performance.
Very good.
This year we got the likes of Ballyadam, appreciate it. Zanny here, Guard Your Dreams, Tristan Davis running. 96 entries, and 59 of them are Irish.
Well, they're coming over in force this year, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah.
Lovely.
Obviously, appreciate it. Looks to be the firm favourite. Having beaten Ballyadam twice in the last two. Zanny here the biggest threat?
No, do you know what? I think Ballyadam.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, I understand. Obviously, we all watched, and I'll let Jamie really go into this because obviously I know he's appreciated. He's one that I believe he's championed or was one to watch many weeks ago for us. Dublin Festival when they came head to head. Yeah, I appreciate it was very impressive. I think we can all admit that. I just think the ground got the better of Ballyadam. Maybe appreciate it as much as can run on better than heavy ground, i.e. your good to soft. I think for Ballyadam it might have been a bit too deep, maybe a little bit too boggy. I think we know what we get with Cheltenham. It's going to be a more firm kind of ground, usually is mid-March time. I think Ballyadam, I believe it's like around about 9-1. Obviously when declarations come through that will probably drop if that's where they intend to run, but on those prices now, non-runner no bet, fancy Ballyadam not to necessarily win.
Okay.
I think at 9-1 is massive price.
Yeah, I mean I've backed Ballyadam a few times, and I definitely think it's a decent enough horse. My doubts just would be how well appreciates had the upper hand. That's the only thing. Personally, for me, I probably would side with Zanny here. Just it's unbeaten under Elliott since he's moved there. It looks a seriously good horse, but obviously he hasn't run into appreciate it yet, or that or anything really of that quality. So might come unstuck. Don't know.
Sorry.
Go on, mate.
So I'm just wondering, Ben, if Zanny here might be going for the Triumph. I mean, that could be.
Well, yeah, of course. And as you say, Jamie, we are really early in advance here.
Yeah.
So we don't know for definite.
What do you
we can only call it as what we can see at the moment. And if it was to go, then I would be interested in possibly taking on appreciate. Even though, I think probably it's where it will end up, the winner. But in the name of fun, I would have a go. Do you know what I mean? But you could well be right, Jamie.
Are you confident in that, Jamie? Appreciate it now. Obviously, it's one you picked out earlier in the season. Is it still one that, I mean, obviously unbeaten since mentioned it, so it's difficult to not be confident. But
I'm very confident now. I've been watching him through his career and where he's won like 2 grade races and he's won like a future champions novice hurdle grade 1, and he won by 9 lengths. And he's absolutely trounced Ballyadam again. Even though I like Ballyadam, even though now the price has gone right down. I mean, lucky enough, I took him an early price at 16-1, only for a small stake, like an each way thing, because I didn't know that Willie Mullins was in the middle of taking him to the Supreme or the Ballymore, and now it looks like he's confident enough to take him down the Supreme route. And then I think I've been really impressed with him, especially the way he's been jumping and the way he's been travelling. And then you just don't realise what the Irish tracks are like on the home straight, because Mick Fitzgerald just mentioned about the hill, the climb at the home straights. And you had one at Leopardstown, you had one at Naas, and one was at like 15% and one at 10%. And it's obviously helps them out, and where you got the Cheltenham Hill at the home straight as well. So I've got no qualms with Appreciate. I mean, he's my lucky 15s and single bets really.
Yeah.
But
He was
I
mightily
mean,
impressive last time. There's no doubt about it.
oh yeah, I mean with the others, I mean I wrote down. I can see Barry Adam getting into the place for the Cheveley Park, but you know, I mean the course would suit him at Cheltenham because he has been, you know, some of the Irish tracks are you know undulating and you know give a bit of experience, especially down he was like running down in Dan Royal, you know, they're like really you know like that. But the only thing is though, considering with the race, I mean the Irish have got an absolute stranglehold at the moment. So I would like to see, you know, a British, you know, trying to get into the top 3 or the top 4. But at the moment, there's no. I mean, I can just see appreciate. But we could all say like, was it who's the Gordon Elliott that 50-1 that won 2 years ago?
Layback.
Layback. You know, it could always happen. It can always happen. You never know. You never know.
Talking about big price odds, Jamie. I like Alan King's Tritonic.
Yeah.
Collection of yours not a while back at Ascot. And you know, a horse. You know, pace is going to be the key, I think, to win this race. You know, Tritonic, when it looked like it was beaten, breezed the victory. You know, if I'm honest, I don't think the Supreme is as strong as what it was last year to the runners and riders that we had. I think Appreciate It is worthy of being a 7-4 favourite. Willie Mullins, being, you know, he's the leading trainer in this race. You know, Sean's #1 fan, or shall I say, you know, he's, you know, it's got.
Yeah, I am his massive fan. Yeah.
It's Valentine's Day as well, so
it is. I've sent him a card. It's fine. It's not really.
I agree with Bally Adam. I do think, you know, going back to the Dublin Festival, I just didn't think Appreciate It was as sparkling as what I expected the horse to be. Got the job done. But having said that, you know, like I said, Willie Mullins will come into this in sublime form. Tritonic's an outside one for me. My Drogo as well for Team Skelton. He's had some good winners as of late. Metier, which I think is the
is that a Harry Fry?
Harry Fry.
Yeah.
That's another unbeaten one, a very impressive unbeaten one.
I think it's 7-1 on Bet365, so they're currently unbeaten. So it's a race where there's a lot of horses with unbeaten records there.
He was going to run in the Betfair Hurdle, but because it got cancelled, he decided to go to Cheltenham straight away. But like you say, when you're looking down on the horses and looking down the odds, there's plenty of value.
Yeah, 100%.
And all that. So, you know, even if you get a good value for coming in 3rd or 2nd or 4th, you know, happy days. It's a good start for you for Cheltenham.
So just to be clear, Mark, is there anything? What are you going on an each way or on the nose on this one, mate?
I mean, Tritonic, you know, like I said, it's 33-1 at the moment. But like you said, the odds in that, I think, you know, the declarations and the odds are bound to change.
Of course.
I think, you know, Tritonic,
if it runs,
I think will be a great each way selection for me. I think I'm more going with my heart on this one, and I think Appreciate It just sticks out for me. You know, to be the winner of this. But like you said, there's going to be some other top quality horses in there that are going to be battling it out for the places in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to, like I say, I agree with you on that one, just due to pricing on that one. I think Bally Adam, I think for the pricing, if you're taking it now, 9-1, I think will stay the trip. The hill and things like that, like Jamie said, the conditions over in Ireland almost mimic it in a way without actually replicating it, if that makes sense. Do you see what I mean? It's that sort of layout. So yeah, Bally Adam for me, I think each way at the price.
I mean, Cheltenham's ground conditions won't get worse than what it was before when it got cancelled. It'll be, you know, you're going to get a decent ground. It always like the water just like, you know, recedes quite well. It's chalk based as well, so you know. You can always, you know, so you can always help up the ground.
Okay, all right, lads. Well, let's move on then. Obviously, 210 was a great one. The Arkle, last year's winner, put the kettle on, which not many expected. One winner.
Ooh, great race.
Personally, one winner, yes. but I think it's going to be a lot closer now that Ergoname, or is it the Mullins? Ergoname.
Yeah.
I mean, you again, like Mark and Jamie and everyone has alluded to, Mullins is coming over with probably one of the strongest ones he's had for a while, as in impressive types. You know, he hasn't had the sort of luxury of riches as he's got kind of now, at disposal, it looks like. But I think Shiskin will take all the beating. This could be a special horse, and I know Jamie's got a lot of love for this. I think evens at Cheltenham is always a danger bet, as silly as it sounds. But I think he's good for it, and he's fantastic for it. So I see it being close between him and Ergoname. I don't see much of the field getting involved with the likes of All Mankind's been a little bit off the boil.
I say you've got a few others in there though as well. You've got that Art who's been in decent form lately. Fusel Raffles has got an entry in there at the moment. That Garlaw for Jamie Snowden.
Garlaw.
He's got an entrance. Zambarella in the two tones.
Yeah. There's plenty.
Zambella, sorry, not Zambarella. Zambella, sorry, should I say?
Yeah.
And even my old mate Lixid Nuts has got an entry at the moment.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we know that horse has been a bit off the ball, sort of lost its way a little bit, but we know it has some ability.
Yeah. I just feel.
But as you say, quite rightly, you know, given what Shishkin's done and what he's proved lately, you know, I mean, you'd be hard pushed to back against him, wouldn't you?
100%. And with everything going the way it is for Nicky Henderson, you'd think that with Altior being, you know, like we were talking off just beforehand, probably last stab at anything like Cheltenham.
Well, just no slight on him or nothing. No.
Okay. Like you say, he's another horse that doesn't owe anybody anything.
Absolutely, yeah.
But obviously, he needs another flagship. He needs another, and Shishkin looks to be that type. You know.
Yeah, the next one. Yeah, the next big thing. Like,
From my point of view, anyway, I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion.
No.
I think he wins this and he wins it well.
I think it definitely makes the race that little bit more exciting. You know, I think we look at the, you know, like the odds, how it has gradually changed since Shishkin had switched the fences. You know, for every race that he's run over fences, it just seems to be a natural, like he's done it all the time. Obviously, the races that he's been in have not been as competitive. Some of them, you know, like again. You think times he's hitting a flat spot, but he's got that much quality to get the job done and breathe away when he knows. And Nico de Boinville, as top quality a jockey that he is, knows, you know, when the horse is right.
Was that a wry smile from Sean then? Sorry.
We all know what Willie Mullins is all about when it comes to the Cheltenham Festival. He brings, you know, a good chance in a Ergoname, very impressive. But Shishkin, to me, you know, is just he's on another level compared.
I'm inclined to agree myself personally, but
I don't want to blow my own trumpet, you know. But I just think there's something so great about Shishkin that I love watching. Just to see another horse in there, like an Ergoname, will just make it that little bit more thrilling to watch.
Yeah. Well, that's what we want. We want competition, don't we? That's what we want.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Arkle's going to be a humdinger of a race. I like I say. I mean, when I looked at Ergoname, I went over in Ireland, and I thought, here we go. We've found someone who's going to make a challenge for the old Sprinter Sacred Mark 1. I thought he'd done really well, considering Ergoname. Like, you know, he was really impressive. Where he ran well against Captain Guinness. So even though, you know, I think he fell or went back.
I believe he did.
He ran about 8.5 lengths. He just seems to enjoy running on conditions that heavy and soft conditions. It's going to be a little bit different at Cheltenham. All right, there's going to be no atmosphere. Everybody's going to be all concentrating. You know, all the horses will be. You know, there won't be. Hopefully, there'll be, you know, a few hundred people. I don't know, but you know,
there,
I mean, he was really. I mean, the last one he was so impressive in Leopardstown, and he was beating another William Mullins horse, and that was Franco Dupont, and that was and he made him like an absolute novice and won by 10 lengths.
Yeah.
So, and he made it so easy again on soft conditions. I mean, with Shishkin, I've liked him since day one when I saw him at Kempton. And he's gone over fences, and he's not put a foot wrong. He's just absolutely winging them. All right, the second time he ran over Kempton. He made a couple of novice mistakes, but that's just like being a novice. He went over Doncaster, and that was impressive. I thought never even touched a twig. I think it's going to be a hunting. It's going to be out of them two, and it's going to be like the same race where Sprinter Sacre ran against Undisso, and then Sprinter Sacre just absolutely done him on the second or third, on the last fence running over. I mean, if there was any others in the field, I mean, I've had a look in the other fields. I mean, you got Sky Pirate. Sky Pirate could go there, or he could go to the other 2 mile race in Cheltenham. I mean, he was impressive when he was in that Cheltenham. I think it was a trial run. It was a trial race. He was impressive with Tom Scudamore.
See, my only concern, sorry, Joe, with Sky Pirate is it's that what level is Sky Pirate at?
Yes.
So he won the race he did, but then to step him up, take on Shishkin and an Ergoman like that. As impressive as that run was at Cheltenham, it really was, because he went away.
But that is the question. It's
can he go up to that championship pace?
That's it. That's the word. That championship level. Yeah, because you have to. You know, we know the Arkle's a 2 mile race. It's not for the faint-hearted in a respect 2 mile on. It's not for the faint-hearted when it's coming over the chase fences, because one mistake, not necessarily your fault, but it'll cost you a race against the likes of Shishkin and things like that. Every fence has to be on point.
See, I do subscribe to the same page as Mark's alluded to. The ability that Shishkin has, when you watch him run, as you said, Mark, you know, he has that ability. Even when he's in trouble, he finds the door, opens it. He just has that natural ability that you need. And say, going on to what Jamie's saying about the Sky Pirate, he's obviously, he's looked good, but as you just said, as there, Sean, you know, has he got that same ability to find himself in a sticky spot and know the way out? And every time you watch Shishkin jump, he just seems to be able to do it. You know, even if he's in too tight or whatever. He just seems to be able to go, oh, hang on, I know what to do here.
Yeah,
and he's out of trouble before you even blink. Do you know what I mean?
And that's exactly the same thing for Captain Guinness. I think he's in the same mould as Sky Pirate, because Captain Guinness, right, he was brilliant over hurdles, and I backed him in the Supreme. And I think he fell. Oh boy, he finished somewhere. I think he fell in the last hurdle. He's gone over fences, and I thought, this is going to make a make of a horse of him. And it just like he's just making mistakes going over fences, and it's just like his last run, he made a mistake on the third last and fell.
Cost him.
And it's just like he's got natural ability. Don't get me wrong.
He might just need more time, Jamie.
It could be, it could be. You never know. You might have to train to bring him down into hurdle races instead of that fence, and just give him a bit of more confidence.
Yeah, getting going again.
I mean, you've got All Mankind. I mean, he wears a hood, and he just pulls Harry Skelton's arms.
Yeah,
you might see him in the next field.
Yes,
you know. And he's got ability, but you can see. I don't think you can see him competing against Shishkin and Ergoman. I think you will see him, All Mankind, in the top 4. He's got ability.
I mean, he ain't going to be that.
I mean, he won that well over Sandown last time, and then you got another one. You got another Woody running. So you're going, what the hell's going on here? You got Frango Deport, who got beaten by Ergoman, like I said, 10 lengths, and he might run, and he could go 3rd or 4th in that Arkle if he gets in.
So I'm to be clear. I think we're all in the same boat on this one, are we not?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh yes.
It's very much as it doesn't normally happen with us as a team. It's very much. It's very much. It's a Shishkin race.
As you say, quite rightly say.
Do what's got to be done. Yeah.
He's up there to be shot at. It's as simple as that. And it's a case of, are any of you good enough to take him down? Really, isn't it? That's what we're really saying here. It's simply that. You know, is there anyone in that field good enough with the ability to go toe to toe with him and either beat him or nick it, or do you know what I mean? Whatever. It's simply is that. Honestly,
agreed. That'd be a good race, though.
Yeah,
think
Oh, yeah, definitely.
to make it so clear cut and obvious, unless Shishkin falls, I can't see him losing.
No, I think we all agree with you there, mate.
It's a bold statement.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, let's move on then, lads. Well, Jamie sort of said what a belt of that race is. What about the Champion Earl? That looks a belt, doesn't it?
Absolutely fantastic.
You know, cut the little notes that I've got, written down here. You know, you've obviously got Honeysuckle looking to have a go this year for Henry de Bromhead.
Yeah.
At the moment, as the entries go right now, Henderson's got the likes of Bouvedere, Buzz, Epiton, Vidana Blue, Sticking, Silver Streak for Evan Williams. Mullins has looked like at the moment he's got Sharjah, Saudia, St. Roy.
Yeah.
You know, even going down the list, you've got Aspire Tower, Abracadabras. You know, if half of them go, Jesus.
Song for Someone, he could go in there.
Yeah, of course, Jamie. Yes, sorry, apologies. Yeah.
That's another good horse.
Who wants to start this one off then?
Let's toss up a coin.
Just quickly, all right.
Yeah, go on. You go. Go on.
Do you know what? I'll take a stab at this because I do think, and I think it is a massive factor in a race like this. I think it could come down to the mares in this one. I know we've discussed this before. That £7 allowance, it does make a difference on a decent surface with decent horses like Honeysuckle.
In that situation, it has to.
Yeah. I mean, yes, there are there are other mares in that race, but that will get the allowance. But you're talking about giving £7 away to an unbeaten Honeysuckle and an Epiton who, on a day, is ridiculously quick, has got an electric turn of foot. I never thought I'd see the day that Bouvedere would be 22 to 1.
No.
That's mind blowing. But again, we don't know what the outlay is with that. We don't know if we'll see Bouvedere at the festival. But I think Sharjah as the outsider for me. As impressed. I think Sharjah, I think a lot of people I know have alluded to on the ITV racing and stuff like that. Over the last couple of months when Sharjah's run over the hurdles. Yes, it'll be difficult to beat 2 mares in the race. But Sharjah's quick enough if getting a good toe in the race and there's a good pace on for him to aim at. If he's got something to aim at, this could be a complete different turn, a different race than what we all think. Like I say, Honeysuckle's not done anything to really worry anybody. I mean, you can't argue with.
Wrong.
No, I mean, what's it? 10 straight wins. What can you say? There's nothing more you can say about a horse that has got that ability and there's a job to do. She does it.
Yeah.
Question marks over Epiton. Silver Streak just gets unlucky, it seems. But Sharjah for me, I think will be banging on that door, turning for home again. As long as the pace is there for the horse to aim at. Which we know with Champion Hurdle, you'll get a pace anyway. It's a 2-mile absolute free-for-all sprint round, really. These horses are electric. As long as he's in a decent enough position, I think he could really put it to those 2, personally, coming up the home straight.
It's not every day I agree with you, Sean.
Hey.
I think I have to agree with you on that with the Sharjah. This is, Sharjah's win, I believe it was the Mapson Hurdle at Leopardstown. Actually beat Aspire Tower as well in that race. Now that's one of the horses that I think can really not cause an upset, but really make a statement in this race. We talk about loads of other ones in here. Abracadabras, Song for Someone, Jamie's selections a couple of times. He's had some really good winners. Epiton, what horse are we going to see? You talk about Silver Streak. That wasn't a shock. It wasn't. All depends on how you look at it.
And I personally like to see Silver Streak kick on from that myself. That's what I've
Yeah, to get a win against a horse so great in Epiton, and they say if it can kick on that a little bit more, then it can really make a statement. I mean, at the moment it's 10 to 1 on Bet365, and I think to beat Epiton and still be a price as good as that, that's massive. But for me, last year's mares winner Honeysuckle, who again is entered into a couple of races as we know, I've got a joint 5-2 favouritism with Epperton.
Mm.
You know, I said an unbeaten horse. It hasn't felt defeat yet. So, you know, can that horse continue its form? But in agreement with Sean, Sharjah, to me, revitalised horse. Third last time out in its last outing, I think could be the main danger for me. And again, I've obviously got to chuck in, you know, what Sean said about Bouvet. You know, no one knows really what's happening.
No.
I mean, he had that first run, Mark. He done that quite well. His first run from his injury. So
yeah, I definitely think so. You know,
yeah, but I think we all know if if Bouvet's put right, you know, he's well up there with a chance. There's no.
I think you know, like what Sean said before about Altior, you know, like just to see Bouvet out there, 2-time champion hurdle winner, you know, would be fantastic. It would just make that field so much more like thrilling. You know, to me, it's a champion hurdle where it could be won by anyone. That is just my honest opinion. There could be a winner from absolutely anywhere. Song for Someone, I said, I reiterate, selected by Jamie a few times. I was very impressed by his wins. Was it? Am I right, Jamie? Was the same race with Labrina at Ascot in a free run?
Yeah, it was a free runner race at Ascot.
Yeah,
and he won that really impressive. And Nico was on him at the time, and and that was good technical racing, really, race riding. And then your fantastic jockey, Mr. Coleman, did it. No, he did it really well with Song for Someone at Cheltenham. Beating, you know, even though they had to miss a hurdle, he just dug in deep, really, done really well. But I'm not sure if he will run in the champion hurdle. I've got a funny thing they might bypass that and might go to the Aintree by looking at it, where they're not like you know copying out on it. They're trying to find a right race for him to win, and trying to get black type for him, even over gelding, you know. So I think, I mean, what I've put down with some. I think, me personally, I think Song for Someone will bypass the race and he'll go to Aintree on their so-called champion hurdle. I think he'll win that. I think Bouvet at the age of 10, can you see him up there? I could. Would he win it? No. Could he get a place? Definitely yes. You know, he's like, you know, he's at the age of 10. The only one who won at the age of 10, I think, was either Sea Pigeon or Dawn Run. Who won the champion hurdle. Yeah. So it'd be interesting, you know. Hurricane Fly tried to. You'd done it as well. Has he done it as a 10-year-old?
I believe so, as a 10-year-old, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. But it was an older horse. Yeah,
he tried to do it, didn't he? As from there, but can you see Bouvet there? You know, running on from that run at Haydock? Most probably he'll get, you know, come on for that run. A lot more fitter for that run. Yeah, you could get him in a place. Epperton. Well, I mean, she's been great since winning, the champion hurdle last season. And it's just gone a little bit pear-shaped, where it's just not gone right.
Do you think the biggest thing labelled at Honeysuckle would be the fact that maybe she's not mixed it with the big boys? Do you think that could be a factor?
Yeah, it could be where she's won 10 out of 10 in Ireland, and
and I mean, obviously you can't take anything away what she's done. But, you know, given the quality of that field.
I think the last run at Honeysuckle run, that was a very, very good field. And she absolutely annihilated them coming around that bend. And then kicked on.
As you said, Jamie, isn't there though? There's good fields.
Yeah.
And then there's like the Shishkin level or the elite level.
Yes.
No, there's good fields, and then there's the elite.
Yes, it's the elite. Yeah, and it could happen where she might just blow a blood vessel and just.
Well, we don't know that. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It just it might happen. But I like to see Silver Streak up in the top 3, because he well deserves it, because he always runs a genuine, consistent run.
Yeah.
And it was great to see him like winning a grade race at Kempton. And he always puts 100% into it. So I mean, I'm hoping he'll be in the up in the mix, but I can't see anybody like watching Honeysuckle. I can't really see anybody beating her. But that's I mean, for an each way selection, I mean, you can always go for without without Honeysuckle.
Bet without.
Bet without. So with my bet without, I will go with Silver Streak.
I'll probably have a little bit on Silver Streak myself personally.
Yeah, I mean, I would put it on as a single each way bet and also without bet, because you always know that you'll give a good run for your money, as they say. Any others? It's going to be hard, isn't it? It's going to be hard. It's going to be another Irish winner. I'll be guiding my tea.
All right then, lads. Well, let's move on again then. Talking about mares, there we got the 410, the Close Brothers mares. No Honeysuckle this year. Benny Duar was obviously favourite last year, came second to Honeysuckle. Where do we think this one's going to go? Roxana in there as well. Ellie May.
I like it this year.
I'm just about to mention now. I see you've got there as well. Concertista.
Oh right, okay.
In the two tones again.
Yeah, I think.
Now I watched that a couple of times this year, and I've been well impressed with that horse.
I think it's definitely. We've spoken about a few of the races that potentially have like a two horse race. I think this could be again this year, but with the exemption of Honeysuckle, if she's going to go for the champion hurdle, Concertista and last year's runner-up Benny Dudoir. Concertista is, it's again a really impressive horse to watch. I'm just siding with Benny Dudoir though.
Okay.
Sean's got that look up on his face, so I'm sure he's going to be so. It's probably going to be. Hopefully, it's going to be constructive criticism, Sean, that you're going to give me afterwards. But I say both of them.
No abuse, there'll be.
I mean, both of them are trained by Willie Mullins, so I think it's very, very. Again, I don't want to blow my own trumpet, but he's got a very strong chance.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In this race, but. Benny Dudoir, I think, didn't do anything wrong for me last year in the mares. I just think Honeysuckle was just, the better horse on the day. Rachel Blackmore, we know, she's,
Be interesting to see who picks up which ride, won't it?
Yeah. My only thing about Benny Dudoir is that it's not had a run since Cheltenham Festival last year. And freshness in horses has worked, but it hasn't worked in some. You said about Roxana for Team Skelton. He's had a couple of good performances this season. And outside, I like his Minella Melody. I think it's 28.
It's the same colours as Honeysuckle, isn't it?
Yeah. But I just think Benny Dudoir, just didn't do anything wrong with me. Yeah, he's going to have. It's going to be a race. It's just going to be a race with Concertista. There's no doubt about that. I'm definitely looks like I'm going up against Sean. But
I would be inclined to agree with that, but then I would side with Sean. I mean, I think match fitness will come into it. It's as simple as that, to be honest. As much as she's been wonderful, Benny Dudoir, but I just think Concertista's bang there, ready to go. And again, it comes back, doesn't it, lads, to the level of abilities you're running against. Now, Benny Dudoir will get away with that most days during the week at Down Royal or wherever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're talking about the festival running against the very best of the competition out there, and you are expecting a horse. Okay, he's a brilliant horse. There's no denying that.
Yeah.
But in terms of like fitness level, surely you're not going to be able to do it against a horse that's been prepped. Surely.
No, well, again, Glenn, you're right. I am Concertista. There are a big part of that is match or race fitness. I'm not saying Benny Dudoir couldn't do it because, but for me, going into a Cheltenham Festival, you need to have had a couple of runs. Well, I say you need to. There are the odd occasions where there are certain horses that will only go for the Cheltenham Festival. Again, there are only two that spring to mind that I know off the top of my head. Annoyingly, they're both Mullins horses. When you've got Penn Hill, who'd always go for the Staters, and Quavago had always run for the mares. Now, they would rarely run a race leading up to Cheltenham, yet be able to go to Cheltenham, and in Quavago's case, win 6 times. Do I see Benny Dudois in the bracket of Quavago's ability to be able to not run and then run straight to the festival?
Yeah,
No.
that's the question, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that she's not a good mare, because she has been, and she's run some good races. And let's be honest with you, only found a couple better than her that have gone on and been exceptional with the likes of Honeysuckle. Again, I fear that she might find herself against one of those in Concertista. I believe is a fantastic mare with a fantastic turn of foot. I believe we'll be able to. Again, we don't know, will Cheltenham be a sticking point for her? But I see very little in that race. I mean, at the moment, 5 to 4, due to the fact that Honeysuckle was supplemented in there at 3 to 1. Take that out, and that price is going to be almost unbackable for value wise. But I think she's worth. I don't normally like a favourite at Cheltenham. I try to not veer clear, because if they're good enough, then you'd be stupid to not side with it.
Of course, yeah.
But if you can see a chink in the arm and take advantage of larger prices, which is what I like to do. But in this one, I see very few chinks.
Sean, do you think Roxana can knock on the door? I mean, she
Yeah.
I think, Jamie, I think you'll be better placed to take this one. I do believe the older head. I think she could stay round, but I think.
Oh dear.
But I think.
I'll just think Roxana will put 100% into her race if she's going to run, because she did that when she ran in the stayer, like a stayers race, when she ran against Time Hill and Paisley Park, and then she won. Then after that, for a couple of weeks, went back to Ascot, and she won on a race last time out on her normal distance. I thought that was great. I think I reckon she'll get black type easy. If not, they'll definitely retire, and she'll be really good value for the paddocks. But she'll definitely give her your run of like each way. I don't know what the odds are for Roxana. 9. She'll give you like a good run for your money, definitely. And then especially with non-runner no bet as well. So you never know, she might go for the stay. They did say talking about the stayers, but I don't think they will do. I think they'll just stay in the mares hurdles bracket, and and just fight amongst their own sex sort of thing. So I think it's a good little each way shout, Roxana, for me.
What's your thoughts on Concertista?
Concertista, that's just impressive. Who trains that? Is that Gordon Elliott?
Or no, it's Mullins.
No, it's Mullins again, mate.
So Mullins has got another really good like mare. I've got no qualms with that whatsoever. I was looking in the prices of like with an each way selection, because that everybody's going to start backing. If Mullins is going to start winning, all their prices are going to go right down.
Oh yeah, of course they are. Yeah.
So I mean, I looked at a lot of very quick look, and I thought, Roxana just stuck out like a sore thumb for each way. So I can see she will win that Concertista. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good.
Okay, all right, fair enough then, lads. We'll move on again then. Obviously, still a few more to talk about, but let's jump forward a bit. Let's go to the Challenge Cup, the amateur.
Yep.
Big field, but some decent sorts in there. Galvin, Asteria and Phalange, as you liked before in the past, Mark. If the Cat Fits has got an entry at the moment. Latest expedition that's come or got as close as anyone could do to Monkfish Short, one of yours recently. Next Destination, who's been in some cracking form this year. And Soldier Love in the same colour silks. So yeah, it looks a pretty decent decent lineup, isn't it?
Got that Royal Gale as well.
Yes, possibly, yes.
Which like you say, we all know at this point when we do these, and when anyone does the previews, it's very difficult to judge, especially with the likes of anyone in these bigger races, in these larger fields.
Exactly. Yeah.
Difficult to judge where anyone's going to plot their course this early on.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to go on the basis of where they are, I suppose, in the betting of each race, because it gives you a clear indication.
Yeah.
That's their target. You know, that they're open. Royal Pagala, I think, has got a racing every day. I didn't know the horse was that good.
Yeah.
If the odds are anything to go by the entries, he's going to be knackered by
He's
the
going
end
to clean
of
up, yeah.
He's going to be on his feet on the Saturday, I tell you, mate. But if you're going on that basis, these are the shorter odds for him at 5 to 1. I've taken a punt on an each way 16s at Gold Cup, more of just because it was such an impressive horse at the time. Whether it will or not, unlikely. But at 5 to 1, that looks like the Venetia Williams way where she's going. If that's the case, I think between him and Latest Exhibition could be a fantastic race. Because to only see the backside of Monkfish, but be the nearest one to Monkfish.
Yeah, exactly.
He's such a testament at the moment to Latest Expedition. It'd probably really pain him if he saw the back end of another pink and
it would be a bit
green.
unfortunate, to be fair.
But that shows the levels in respect of Royal Pagali's on the up and an improving horse, whereas Latest Exhibition, okay, there's only a year's difference, but it's got a little bit more know-how, and he's taking on the likes of Monkfish. Okay, getting beat, but drop it down again is what we're saying. Where's his limits? You know, Monkfish may be one too far. Dropping down in a grade 2 race like this, a good grade 2 race, and at 7s, it almost seems very appealing.
That looks a decent price, doesn't it?
Yeah, for his capabilities.
Yeah.
You know, if we're talking Monkfish going on to be an almost banker at the festival, then you've got to look where that horse behind him, who keeps finishing second, is going. And at 7 to 1, even I'm a little bit like, oh, right, what way do I go now?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I do like Latest Expedition because I've backed him a couple of times, even though he's run against Monkfish and everything. So, I mean, he can jump well. He jumps well over fences. But you know, I haven't really looked at that in detail with this particular race. But where you've got Latest Expedition and you've got, you know, Soldier of Love and you've got Next Destination, and that it's going to be a good like handicap or good handicap or good grade race to watch, really. But I'll definitely, if Latest Expedition stands in his ground, I'll definitely take Latest Expedition each way on that one.
Mark?
Yeah, I was something about agreeing with you at the moment. It really is today.
I wouldn't.
No, you've been reading this.
We all talk about, you know, we've all spoken about Mullins having such a strong field, but I think for Gordon Elliott, I think he's definitely got a massive chance in Galvin. But again,
I like Galvin. I have to admit.
Yeah. But for me, Latest Expedition kind of reminds me of Mellon. Obviously, I'll take out Mellon's last run, but Mellon's always been one of those horses that always performs in the big races. And like what Sean stipulated, if you're finishing second behind Monkfish, you know, and you've beaten the rest of the field, you know, then you've got to think, you know, what a brilliant ride that was. And 7 to 1 to me is that's a price I got to jump on.
Yeah.
Really, but Galvin at the moment is the current favourite. This is going by Bet365 odds at 4 to 1, and even that's a massive price going on its last 4 runs. Yeah. You mentioned If the Cat Fits as well, and I was very impressed by his run back at Kempton on Boxing Day when he finished second in heavy ground conditions. I think that is that could be a great each way selection.
But Mark, but he ran at Wincanton, didn't he? And he absolutely didn't jump well at all, did he?
No,
was it Wincanton?
He didn't at all.
Would you put that line through it, or do you reckon you'd be a little bit concerned over that?
I would still be a little bit concerned, you know, when you get a performance like that, so then like the one you just mentioned at Wincanton, it is always something that plays on the back of your mind. But you know, Harry Fry, you know, he's got some good, strong candidates as well. In the festival throughout the 4 days. Royal Pagala, as Sean mentions, you know, for a horse that won so convincingly over heavy ground, and again, this is all dependent on where Royal Pagala goes. I think it's going to head more for the Gold Cup myself. I think why not? But again, until the declarations are made,
yeah, we don't know. Yeah,
no one knows. But if I'm to side with a horse that I think stands the more chance of winning this one, and it's been knocking on the door, but I think it's latest expedition for me. I think just for me, and at a price of 7 to 1, I think that's a good choice.
Yeah, I mean, I think given, as we've said, you know, it's been the closest thing on the track to Monkfish. He's no mean feat in itself, given how well that horse has gone.
Yeah.
So I like Alvin, but I am steering more towards latest exhibition on its own recent exploits. However, having said that, I might even take a little chance on Next Destination, because that horse had a hell of a long time off the track. I believe it's won its last 3. And of course, you know, a lot of people didn't back it. Oh, you know, it's been off the track too long, it can't win. Oh, it won. Oh, well, it's, yeah, you know, must have just got a bit lucky that day. Do you know what I mean? And then it won again. And then it won again. So, yeah, you know what I mean? Obviously, since moving to Nichols, something's clicked. And whatever he's done off track in the time off track is obviously worked. Maybe it's not quite the level enough to trouble latest expedition. I don't know, but I wouldn't be too, you know, sort of too surprised if it put in, you know, in a decent effort. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't be scared of putting it in an each way Yankee type thing.
No, absolutely.
You're looking for some bigger prices just to get those each way odds.
Yeah,
you know, when everyone's got that,
yeah.
you wouldn't be looking at that and hovering over it. You would be clicking that button as an each way odds.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah.
No, agree.
Glenn, looking at Next Destination's last few runs, it's been in really small fields. Do you think potentially running in a big field could be a negative?
Possibly, mate. Possibly. As we say, you know, I mean, it spent such a long time off track. You know what I mean? We don't really know how it will react. Some seem to be completely sort of bamboozled and outfoxed by the whole, you know, charade of the whole big field, and others seem to don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to know that. It could, you're quite right, it could be a big factor.
Yeah.
But it's not a young horse, so it's not, you know, it's not inexperienced.
No.
So
No.
I would err on the side of caution and say I don't think it will be a problem. But obviously I can't categorically say, as we say, because they've been small fields and because it's been off track for, you know, some time. But maybe with all the crowds, as Jamie's alluded to, you know, that would make a difference. So maybe the larger fields this year won't be quite the same, because although you know, like, although they're big fields, you know what I mean, they are used to other horses. They're not kept, you know, in their own, on their own. Do you know what I mean? So they are used to being around other horses. So
You won't see another,
probably when you get larger fields. Sorry, Jamie,
you won't see another Mike Bite incident like that.
No, I just think he was
going into the Guinness tent and then coming back out again. And a few beers
with a bit of a quirky character, wasn't he? You know what I mean? I don't think you could put Next Destination in.
No, definitely not.
As I say, all I was going to go on to say is obviously what without the crowds this year, I mean, it adds. It's like a football match, isn't it? It's like going to a football match without the crowds. It adds to the whole excitement of the event, the day, and everything. And I think, you know, even with the big fields, I think, you know, they are used to other horses. All right, yeah, some maybe do shy away, you know what I mean, in that situation. But I don't see it as a problem, but you could be right, Mark. You could be, but I don't see it as an issue.
It's going to be a different Cheltenham festival.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Please press the red button if you don't want to hear the crowd noise.
Yeah, that sort of thing, yeah. So I'll be ashamed not to hear the roar, though, lads.
Yeah,
I bet they
should that be a shame not to hear the roar, then the full start 3 times and then the roar? It always seems to be the way they never get going. I never understand that. But anyway, all right, well, let's move on again then, lads. We'll let these two for last. Again, you know, as you alluded to, Sean, beforehand, they're always such big fields and it's so difficult to know exactly what's going to happen. But we'll start, obviously, looking at the Ultima. Conditional won it last year, beating both joint favourites, Vindication and Discorama. And obviously that, I wouldn't say put conditional on the map, but certainly, you know, I mean, sort of opened a few eyes to.
Made a name.
Yeah, made a bit of a name, yeah. So.
And a small trainer as well.
Yeah, but it always sort of throws up, you know, like say, not one of the biggest races, but always sort of throws up an interesting winner, doesn't it? Normally.
Yeah, I mean, in this one, two that again, like we discussed before we started filming, the handicaps, it's something like 90 odd runners at the moment. Drop a pin in, take your pick. We know that there are some that we know will be going there. The two that have stuck out for me personally, massive odds that I thought I'd have a look at, is Cloth Cap at 25.
Yeah.
Because we know what that horse is capable of. Again, would they deter and just go to Aintree instead of taking a chance? But it has been a while since his run. This would be a perfect prep run for anything that they've got going forward there. We know the horse's jumping ability. We know if they can get it out in front or at least prominent, could jump those. It could be a native river that his jumping stands and he goes away. And the other one is Dashel Grasser. Grasser. Are the two for me, 16s and 25 to 1s, because, well, they can't be faulted this year. And you're going into a race like that where you need a horse with guts and determination. We know exactly what a handicap field is like, especially at Cheltenham. And as long as one of those two go, I can see them being bang on it. At 16s and 25s.
Sean, did the Cloth Cap win the Ladbroke Trophy?
Ladbroke Trophy, yeah.
A while back.
It was a selection of mine for the Ladbroke Trophy, which I was confident he'd run a good race. But the fact that, I mean, I can't, it must have been a good, easy 10 plus lengths. And looked like had the ability to go around again. Again, I'm not saying that was going to be a one-off, but Cloth Cap isn't the type of horse that follows up win after win after win. What Cloth Cap is a horse that on its day can do what it did in the Ladbrokes Trophy and jump fields into submission. Again, you've got to get the positioning right. You've got to be able to have the horse under you that wants to on the day. But if we're taking a stab at ones now and we're looking at non-runner, no bets, I'm thinking they're looking at those two, Cloth Cap at 25s and Dashel Grasher at 16s, and thinking, well, that's where my money would go at this early stage at non-runner, no bet, because there's the harm.
I mean, I've gone the same with you, Sean. I mean, I looked at the list of the ultimate handicap, and it's going to be a big long list. List as long as your arm, really. And then the one that did come out, and it just opened. It just just stood up for me was Dashel Grasher, where it won at Ascot. That was impressive. Front run. All right, I shall never pass. It just kept on going and going and going, and that was impressive. Even the jockey said he's got a lot more ability what he can show. So I reckon he could step up for that ultimate handicap. I mean, even Wright was there in the list.
25.
He could run in the handicap. He could drop down in the handicap. I'm hoping so, because I think he's a nearly. He's a if he did this, if he could have done that. If he drops down to a handicap, I think he's got a chance. Especially with a non-runner, no bet. And he was absolutely, I backed two of them, running risk and Wright, and I was so, I was happy that the 33-1 winner won, but I was gutted for Wright, because he's always there. He's always in that pocket. He's always
the bridesmaid.
So to me, if it was me for no runner, no bet, I'll go for Dashel Grasher and Wright for non-runner, no bet, really, for each way purposes. For me.
Okay. I want to tell you what, I'm going to throw in one there, lads.
Go on.
What about Deis Abba?
Who?
Deis Abba in the Trevor Hemming colours as well. As
another one.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I think 20s is a nice price for that horse. All right. It did sort of come onto the scene looking quite good. Then it wobbled a little bit, but I was quite impressed last time out at Sandown.
Yeah.
Won by about 4.5 lengths at Sandown.
Where was Dickie? That was one of Dickie's rides, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. Maybe if again. Yeah. He's trained by Hobbs and that, so every chance he would pick up the ride. like you quite rightly say, Sean, I mean, there's quite a few there you could look at and make a case for quite a lot of them. But yeah, that's one I might look at. You even got Protector out in there at 33. You know, it's not a bad horse.
Yeah.
Listen, when you look at the fields, you look at the fields and you look at the betting, and you're saying, "Oh, that looks really good for that price." And you're going, "Oh, I hope it does work. I hope it does run there."
Yeah.
You know,
So, I mean, you know, looking, I've just got them on the side of the screen there. You know, you've even got like, all right, again, not the best horse in the world ever, but you've got the likes of Good Boy Bobby at 50-1.
Yeah.
Copperhead 40-1.
That's a good price.
Do you know what I mean? Like, all right, yeah. Look, we all know they're that level, they're not that level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're old.
But we've seen them win races, so we know that he's not beyond them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Mark, any you stand out?
Yeah, well, Dashel Drescher.
Well, I'm having Stewart's inquiry after this. Mark and Sean agree. We need a Stewart's inquiry.
Do you know what? I like Dashel Drescher, but I personally think the Ryanair is going to be
possibly
the race that it's more going to go towards. But I like the look of Lieutenant Rocco.
Yeah.
24-1. You know, so one last time out, and its performance at Cheltenham when it finished ahead of Chantry House, but lost to the eventual winner, Fusier Raffles. So I remember you, Sean, jumping around, won that race. I just think that form at Cheltenham, and it's in a massive handicap race that it is. I think it's a massive chance. Glenn, there's another one as well. One of your old favourites, Beware the Bear, also is in there at 33.
My first ever Cheltenham winner.
Yes, and Espoir du Romay for Kim Bailey.
Yeah, I've backed that one before. Yeah,
at 21. It's as Sean said. There's 90 odd inches.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
So at the moment, he's put your hand in, pick one out, and hope for the best.
Yeah, exactly. Like I say, you can make some sort of claim for all of them, couldn't you? Really, or certainly a large proportion of them.
Of the few we've spoken about, and some of them that I've looked at, Dashel Drescher, like I said, was very impressive at Ascot last time out. It's also got an entry in the Ascot at Ascot next week.
Yeah.
It's nothing's been declared yet, but.
Be interested to see if it obviously takes it out, wouldn't it then?
Definitely, like some horses are like, as Sean's stipulated, and like what we all know, some of them are just getting that last run in, some of them are just going straight to Cheltenham. It would be great to see Dashel Drescher in action again. But Lieutenant Rocco for me, for its performance beating Chantry House, and it would be an each way selection at the moment, because at the moment, until you sort of see who's actually declared and what the odds are.
It's like
a Grand National type race for me.
It is. It is. These big fields are like that, aren't they?
Most definitely, and that's what I find exciting. And Jamie loves big odds horse. I'm sure that.
I mean, that cheeky bugger does all right as well with them. That's the problem.
Yeah. Always does, if anybody wants to listen to a high odds horse, and you got
listen to that man there at the bottom of my screen anyway.
I think it's
one
of
those price-wise,
It's definitely like a Grand National type race to me. I think at the moment, if you're picking some of the horses out compared on their odds, I can't see clear favourite being in this one. It is one of those where get them all out there. It's going to be a big run.
Yeah.
But there are some strong candidates in there, some good names, some good performances before. It'll be an interesting race, at least. I can't pick a winner out though, if I'm honest. That one, I'm steering clear. But
let's move on to the Fred Winter then, lads.
Yeah, that one I'm going to be honest. Like we said before as well, it shows kind of how not that it matters if you're in the know or not, but how vital it is in some respects. Because I was looking at those odds, and my horse, how could they place near at 16s?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I know that won't be the case. I strongly doubt I'll see that horse again this season due to an injury sustained in his win over the festive period.
Another really tough one, though, isn't it? Again,
So again, to be honest with you, I hold my hands up on that race alone. I wouldn't even know. I've nothing stood out to me. To be honest.
The one that stood out for me for the Fred Winter will be Just mind you, it's just like with Valentine's, and it's her indoors really. So her indoors, one really like one well at Doncaster. Then you got, I think, Duffel Coat.
Duffel Coat,
yeah.
Duffel Coat, that's in the field, and there, and he's winning at Ireland, and you had got Saint Sam, always bumps into
Daddy-O's got an entry as well at the minute.
Yeah, he's got an entry. Always bumps into a good one. He might have a chance in the Fred Winter, but I like to see a British UK trainer win this one. Adding King, and I think her indoors with her each way. I don't know what the odds for, but it'll be a non-runner no bet, obviously. So
16s are indoors at the minute.
That's a good bet. That's a good bet for especially for the Fred Winter. I mean, Fred Winter's, it used to be like an important race, but now it's just gone down a level.
It's lost, lost a little bit, hasn't it? Yeah.
Unfortunately. But yeah, I could see her indoors run quite well.
You got that Heros de Sol, in the colours, which you picked out and was withdrawn the other week.
Yeah, I did see that, and I'm wondering if it's going to be favourite. That'll be favourite.
Again, 16 is a decent prize right now.
16s as well. So I'll just say it's just like you say, you just don't know where they're going to go at the moment.
No, as you say, it's really difficult to pick ones out in this race. In all honesty,
it's just like poker, really. They're not showing their hands at the moment. They're showing some of them, and some of them they're not. So
no, I got, like I say, I haven't really, quite you say, Sean, I haven't really got a favourite or choice per se. Just looking at the betting, I would just be inclined to maybe lean towards Adagio, because that's been impressive on its last couple of runs. Or as you say, Jamie, that Heros de Sol, it hasn't had a lot of efforts, but again, looked good. Could be a future decent type. We don't know yet, but those two I would sort of steer towards, but with no great confidence, if you know what I mean. As in, like, I'm absolutely, that's well, I'll have a little bet because I have a bet, and we all do. Do you know what I mean? But
definitely,
it won't be one of my important bets. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Sean, I've got to mention your horse, Hacker. There's definitely one I looked at 16. Duffel Coat for Golden Elliott, like I said, mentioned. One I do like the look of is Saint Sam. Again, it's Willie Mullins. He's only had 3 runs since being in Willie Mullins' yard, but couldn't take away its last performance, which I believe was Calixios for Golden Elliott.
Yeah.
And I think this is a horse that I think is knocking on the door ever so slightly. And at the moment,
it has been a bit unfortunate. It's been a little unfortunate.
It's one of those horses, again, like what we spoke about. It's similar to Latest Expedition. Like that win is coming.
And this could be it. Yeah.
But, Duffel Coat, it said 4 runs last year, 4 wins. I think it's definitely one of Golden Elliott's more exciting up-and-coming horses to look out for. But again, I think this is a race at the moment. It's just a little bit like we don't know who's going to beat the head, who's going to run. So it's not compared to the other races that we've spoken about, like the Champion Hurdle, which we pretty much know who's going to go, who's going to beat that. It's definitely one where. So I think Duffel Coat, I believe. I think the Ryanair as well. I've definitely looked at something about that as well. But Saint Sam is a selection that just heads it for me in this one. Like I say, it's so open at the moment. You just can't pick a winner again. It'll be interesting.
Excellent.
Okay, all right. Well, that's basically day one covered then, lads. Anybody else want to quickly add anything before you wrap up? Got anything extra they want to say?
Roll on the next one.
Yeah, roll on day 2.
Yeah, that's what I say.
All right, well, we'll wrap it up there, lads. We're going to have a bit of dinner and whatnot and enjoy the last bit of the weekend. So, that's it done, folks. That's what we think of days 1's racing at the festival. We'll be back again, with another day for you. We'll get this one up as soon as we can. And, we'll see you again for the next video. Day 2.
Lovely.
See you later, guys.
Cheltenham.
Cheerio.